Two cups are still on the table, but the conversation is already over. You ask them to name a day for the next time you will meet, and again they answer vaguely. Your hand reaches for a way to explain everything, persuade them, hold on. The first warning sign is that you are no longer living the relationship. You are trying to get proof that it still exists. Every pause starts to feel like a problem you have to solve with the right words. But closeness cannot be restored by one person's effort. Let's look at how to stop fighting for someone else's choice without dismissing feelings, and how to see whether there is real reciprocity between you. By the end of this conversation, you will not have to become colder. Something else is more likely to appear. The sense that you can love someone and stop holding their life in your hands. Attachment may remain, but your inner support returns. You will be able to tell temporary distance from a steady absence of choice. Usually, fighting for connection looks reasonable. You suggest a convenient time, smooth over the awkwardness, invent an excuse for their absence, change your plans in advance. From the outside, it looks like care. Inside, it is tense shoulders, listening for every shift in tone, and fear of asking because the honest answer may not match your hope. The cost accumulates quietly. More and more often, you measure yourself by someone else's availability. Today they answered warmly, so you were needed. Tomorrow they pulled away, so something must be wrong with you. Gradually, the relationship takes not only your time together, but the space between meetings. Let's look at where love ends and the attempt to control the outcome begins. The wish to hold on rarely feels like control. Inside, it sounds softer. I just want to help us. He doesn't understand yet how good we are together. She just needs a little time. These thoughts protect you from a painful possibility. Your dreams about this person may not match their dreams for their own life. Imagine an ordinary evening. You bought groceries for two, cleared your weekend, placed a second pair of house slippers in the entryway. The person comes over late, sits on the couch edge, and says they want more time alone, with friends, or traveling. You hear the words, but immediately begin to negotiate. You suggest seeing each other less often, promise to be easier, ask what you should fix in yourself. In that moment, pain pushes you to solve a task that is not yours. Your task is to hear reality and decide whether it suits you. Their task is to decide where to direct time and energy. When you take both tasks onto yourself, you get the illusion of action, but lose the chance to see the truth. Manipulation does not begin only with threats or theatrical silence. It can hide inside flawless care, after which the other person seems obligated to choose you. In a gift that is hard to refuse. In sudden helplessness before their important trip. In the calm phrase, "decide for yourself," said with punishment behind it. The intention may be understandable, to reduce anxiety. The consequence stays the same. Someone else's decision stops being free. There is also quieter pressure, endlessly earning closeness. You agree to a format that hurts, do not speak about your needs, support any plans, hoping to be rewarded for patience. But the hidden agreement exists only in your head. They may never have promised that your flexibility would be answered with the same involvement. This is hard to accept because giving up control is easy to confuse with defeat. It can feel as if you gave up too early, loved too little, failed to find the right words. In reality, acceptance means you stop replacing facts with potential. You look not at rare best days, but at how they choose you during an ordinary week. Someone else's freedom does not require you to agree to everything. You can respect their desire to meet once a month and honestly admit that you need more closeness. You can refrain from accusing them of coldness and still refuse a role where you keep waiting. Respect works both ways. Their path is theirs, and your boundaries and time are yours. Here, an important shift appears. When you stop trying to extract the reaction you need, the relationship does not necessarily end. Sometimes, for the first time, it becomes clear what is already there. The person suggests a meeting, or they do not. They return to a difficult conversation, or pretend it never happened. They show interest in your life, or accept attention without answering. Clarity comes from repeated voluntary actions. Real reciprocity usually looks calmer than the fight for it. You do not have to prove every time that you have a right to the place beside them. You can discuss different rhythms, argue, get tired, ask for space, and still both return to contact. Not from fear, duty, or guilt, but because the relationship belongs in the real priorities of two people. This does not promise perfect equality every day. One person may temporarily give more when the other is sick, grieving, or overloaded with work. The difference is direction. The other person notices the contribution, explains their limits, and looks for a way to remain close. In a one-sided connection, you keep compensating for absence. In a mutual one, movement sometimes slows down, but it comes from both sides. The highest price of holding on is not the other person leaving. It is the gradual loss of trust in yourself. You notice a mismatch, but learn not to see it. You are hurt, but call it impatience. You want clarity, but feel ashamed of your need. The longer this goes on, the harder it becomes to believe your own feelings. That is why loving an independent person begins with an honest admission. I do not decide whether I will be chosen. There is vulnerability in that sentence, but no humiliation. It gives you back the only power that belongs to you, to notice the other person's choice and answer it with your own. In the next situation where you want to persuade, remind them of yourself indirectly, or urgently become easier to be with, do one thing. Separate the observable fact from your attempt to influence it. Write one line. Right now this person did this, and I am trying to get this, without explaining their motives or blaming yourself. For example, he canceled our meeting for the third time without suggesting a new one, and I am about to invent a fourth option. Or, she said she is not ready for a relationship, and I am trying to prove that she would be safe with me. This does not judge the person. It gives events their real weight again. Then ask yourself one checking question. If their choice does not change, does this connection work for me? Answer not for your whole life, but for the nearest clear span, a week, a month, the next shared plan. After that, choose your action. State your need directly, refuse the next initiative, or step away from an agreement that keeps leaving you waiting. The result check is simple. After your action, reality should become clearer and your self-respect should remain intact, even if anxiety is still there. If you start persuading or justifying again, do not turn that into a reason to scold yourself. Come back to the 2 lines later and name one fact without a guess. The ability not to interfere in someone else's choice also develops through practice. To love does not mean knowing how the connection will end. It means allowing the other person to be separate and not disappearing while you wait for their decision. Then, closeness stops being a reward for correct behavior and becomes what it is supposed to be, the free participation of two people. Next time someone else's distance makes you want to rescue the relationship immediately, look at the facts first. Do not persuade, do not guess, and do not shrink your needs in the same minute. Give the person a chance to show their choice, and give yourself the right to decide if it is enough for you. Love that has to be bargained for keeps you on probation. Mutual love is recognized differently. Beside it, you are not proving that you deserve first place. You see that a place has already been made for you.